Hello everyone. Today I thought I might share with you just some tips and tricks on how to do foils in a most easiest, non-complicated way. Full head, partial, what have you. This works for any kind of foils or highlighting techniques. First of all, what I want to say that if you're dealing with hair that's a little bit dry and unruly, it's always good to help yourself with either structure equalizer spray or some sort of humidity control product, so then you can be accurate and you can actually weave the hair properly. You have control over the hair and sectioning, and you're not gonna have flyaway. So that's number one. For me is structure equalizer spray, okay? That's what I'm using. No matter if I'm doing color or highlights, I kind of spray a little bit so I can control the hair. Secondly, would be sectioning. Sectioning is really important because first of all, you have to follow the hairline. Always follow the hairline. Make sure your sections are done properly, and your section size varies based on the shape of the head and the hairline. So if you're going to take that section and you're going to tighten it, you will see that your section is much wider on top because your hairline comes forward a little bit in comparison to this part, which is narrower. So you have to make sure that you're not having a little bit of discrepancy, because here at the top, the foil that you're gonna be using probably is gonna be too short for that section. At the same time, underneath, your foil is proper because it will be able to get all that hair in. So, all that being said, I'm going to take a little bit of that section in the corner there. Just make sure that my section is pretty accurate from top to bottom. So that's a second thing. All right, let's just talk about foiling right now and weaving. Now, after we sectioned, proper section, just analyze the hairline. Like I said before, analyze the hairline. And when you're starting your foils at the hairline, let's say you just want to create a little bit of a face framing, just take section by section and make sure they incorporate all the hairline in a proper way, so you don't end up with the black spots or dark spots or underlifted, because this has to be really nicely blended in case the hair goes back in a ponytail. You don't want to have those interruptions along the hairline, so that has to be flawless. So for that, I'm just going to go with smaller section and I'm going to follow the contour of the hairline. Now, I take a small section, and if I want fine weaves, I will have to weave very close to the scalp and very, very tiny pieces. That's one way. On top of the section, okay, on top of the section, or if you want right at the hairline, you can just weave on the opposite side, just next to the face. So that's a second way of doing that. Okay, either way, it's fine. It's just a choice and where you want your lighter pieces to be. I like to go on top of the section most of the times, and it's really hard to weave a mannequin like that, but nevertheless, this is my section. How to foil properly. My way, something that always worked for me, okay? I take my weave, I lift it off, and I place my foil right at the base, and I stretch the hair a little bit. So as you see, this foil is perpendicular. It's a diagonal foil. So I'm gonna stretch the hair a little bit, and this way I'm holding the foil in place. I'm taking my product and I'm just securing the hair on the foil. I'm not gonna go with the brush right at the roots because that's the hot area. That hot area is going to create heat, therefore the product will expand and you're taking a chance to get some leopard spots. So we don't want that. It's better to start and secure your hair on the foil right in the mid, right here, okay? Saturate it. This way, now the hair is secure, the foil is not sliding. I'm lifting my foil a little bit, and with the brush, I'm kind of pulling the hair towards me with the side brush and bringing product towards the scalp. Now, the saturation does not have to be the same close to the scalp and for the rest of the strand, because like I said, the heat from the scalp, it will expand the product, and the product is going to travel towards the scalp, which you don't want to end up with any spot. Now I'm folding it. Don't press too much. Don't squeeze the product out. Okay, now I'm just folding and packing my foil. I like to pack my foils, especially on the hairline, just because I want them secure. Okay, so that's the foil. Let's just do one more. Again, very thin, follow the contour of the hairline, and make sure the sections are nice and clean, because if they're not, you're not going to have accuracy at the top of the section. Your hair is not going to be close to the scalp. Your highlights are not going to be close to the scalp. So you want to pay attention to that. So weave, lift it off the scalp, place your foil right at the base, stretch a little bit. You see how close you are, okay, to the scalp? So this is the closest you can get. This way, you secure the hair on the foil, lift it gently, and saturate the rest of the strand. With the side brush, make sure that you get that product in the hair so you don't, if you lift, you don't have dry spots. And by holding, supporting the foil, see how I'm pulling the hair towards me and I'm getting the foil even closer to the scalp. Fold, fold without squishing it too much. Push the top underneath, or however you like to do the foils. Now, the section is getting a little bit wider here. So, you see that round? You can't really do a foil like that because you're gonna end up with corners. Your foil doesn't bend, your foil is straight. Let me just show you, okay? So if I want to do a foil right here, that's not going to be pretty because, let me show you. Weaves, okay. Now I'm lifting that, placing my foil here, and look what happens. Your foil is straight, you get this corner, you get that corner, but you have the gap right here, and that is not pretty, okay? So that's not a go. You're gonna have that part of the hair that's just gonna be with the band. So when you finish all that, when the hair is all released and blow dry nicely, you're gonna end up with a dark root here in a half moon shape. Okay, so that's not good. We move on to how to do it properly. So the way we move forward is, again, diagonal sections, contour the hairline, and we can go right in a kind of fan your foils. Just literally follow the contour of the hairline with your foils and cover as much hair as you can. So again, I'm just taking tiny little bits of weaves. Place the foil, stretch the hair, secure your foil, work your product towards the root with the side brush. You don't need as much product at the root as you need for the rest of the strand. I'm sorry if the light, the shine of the foil kind of takes away from this. I wish I could find a good angle to show you this. But as you see, this is nice and fast. And we're just going to go ahead and fill in all that hairline. Okay, so we are foiling, but sometimes your section gets wider at the back and you're gonna end up with just a point of origin here that you don't want your foils coming from one point here. You will need to kind of take sometimes a section away from the scalp, right to the back of the section here, and pivot your foils just to keep the same amount of hair in between so you don't get crowded in one point and all your foils are going to pivot from one point. So sometimes away from the scalp towards the back, fill in that section and then move on just to fill in that portion over there. So keep on foiling, okay, and weaving. Like I said, if you weave close to the scalp, your weaves are going to be thinner. If you go away from the scalp, your weaves are going to be a little bit thicker. Okay, saturate, go back with your side brush, make sure you pull the hair towards you. Fold, don't squeeze, do not squeeze that product because it goes towards the scalp. Just make sure that you pack your foil right to the edge of your section so you know exactly what you covered and what not. So we go ahead and we fill in the rest of the section. Okay, so we're pretty much almost to the middle part. I usually don't go that much far. I go to a little bit lower to the around the head, and then I do that horizontally right across, either weave or slices or what have you. But this is just a foiling, just a weaving technique and how I weave. However, if you choose to go right to the middle and then work on opposite side and mid right out at the part, that's absolutely fine. If you have a set part and you're doing quite a bit of density of weave, that's perfectly fine. Just wanted to show you how my foils are pivoting from the hairline and then up, and then just goes pretty much straight on the part. Now, one thing that I just want to touch up on is how accurate your part should be. Like if you're just going to take one section and it's going to be a little bit uneven, so are your weaves. You're not going to be able to control the accuracy of the weaves. If you're gonna weave like that and you have this like irregular line, your weaves are gonna be erratic as well. So you don't want that. You want something that is accurate and precise. So the density of your weaves are pretty much the same throughout the head. This is when you wanna achieve more of a blended look. So again, we got to the section. It has to be straight. The line has to be nice and clean. The section depth and width about the same. Make sure that you weave again close to the scalp if you want a very, very fine weave, something that's just going to give you nice blending. And also, most of the times, guys, the hair has its own direction and wants to grow in a certain direction. Do not force the hair to go in a certain direction that you want it to go, because eventually it's going to do what it wants to do. So a lot of times when I weave, I like to leave the section free and just weave a free form. Just make sure that the hair sits where it wants to sit, because it's going to end up sitting there anyways. So this way I'm just going to respect the hair natural setting, and I'm going to take the weaves accurately, just exactly where they are and where they're going to end up. So again, secure your hair on the foil. By sticking the hair on the foil, you know that hair is secure because you stretched it a little bit. Now I'm working a little bit of a product with the side of the brush towards the scalp. Not so much, not too much product. Okay, so we need less product here than you have it on the rest of the hair. If your foil is too long, you can fold it in 2 or 3. It's up to you. The edge has to be exactly on the part. Lift it, push that tab, and when you do that, just kind of lift a little bit the foil, let it fall, and then fold it right at the edge. So this way, your foil is secure, and you can go back and just do your base color in between, and so on and so forth. So follow these rules. After you finish, go to the middle, start on the other side, make sure you have the same placement of the foils. They're fanning up and all your hairline is covered. And it's going to be nice and even, nicely blended. All right, so that's that. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you. Okay, so she's done all the hairline, contour. You can see how fanned the foils are, okay? So we have a contour hairline starting on the tiny pieces of hair around the face, and then just moving forward and creating this fan of foils, and you see that follows the contour of the hairline. Now, I usually don't do this placement because I don't like to have everything down the middle. I like to have a little bit more blending and kind of playful method of application. So I kind of do maybe contour up to the round of the head, and then I take that section and I just move horizontally across, either weave or slices or a combination. That for me works the best. But nevertheless, wanted to show you like this because I know a lot of people using this technique to do a full head of foil or just a hairline or just half a head. And of course, after you finish this section, you can move back and just kind of foil the crown here. And that will make it sort of like a partial highlight. I think some would call this a partial or a half a head. So you can just kind of do this section at the crown at the back and you're good to go. But again, this was about weaving and contour of the hairline. Whatever you do at the back, that is your call and however you like to do it. This is just for me to show a nice contour. And that's really important. So you have everything placed in the same manner right around the hairline. Thank you. If you have any questions, just comment below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. By the way, she had already color in her hair. I thought it was interesting just to have kind of a little bit of color. This is the mannequin that I had handy, so I wanted to demonstrate on that. All right, so see you guys, and please be safe and take care. Until the next video, ciao.